I'm speechless. I mean, get the gun. To be perfectly honest with you, there is an effect on there. I was f***ing around in the studio and it was put to an echo thing, and I've listened to it myself, and you could misinterpret it as saying shoot. But that wasn't my intention. It wasn't. We didn't sit down and go get the. I never said get the gun.
I met with Ozzy, who was very upset about it. It was an interesting meeting because he was most upset about the fact that somebody would think he intended any harm by any of the lyrics in his songs.
The case was ultimately dismissed. Ozzy's attorney, Howard Weitzman, says that Anderson completely misunderstood the song.
There was no subliminal message, and it was clear after you listened to Ozzy and read the lyrics that wasn't the intent of his message.
Ozzy was sued 2 more times for the suicide deaths of 2 other teens. Neither case ever made it to trial. Despite the controversy, Ozzy never backed off from singing the song. He wrote about a friend who died from alcohol abuse.
Why should I stop singing a song which I know where I wrote it about, because somebody thinks I wrote it about something else?
Up next, a drunken binge descends into pure madness, and Ozzy nearly kills his wife.
It got to the point one night where he just lost it totally and, you know, started to strangle me.
When Behind the Music continues. It was the summer of 1989 at the Moscow Music Festival. On this stage, on this day, Ozzy was the undisputed king. Ironically, it was at this event dedicated to peace that the seeds were sown for Ozzy to commit his most violent act. As a thank you gesture, a concert promoter had given the Osbournes an array of exotic Russian vodkas.
They get back to the house in Buckinghamshire a couple weeks later, and it's a Saturday night, and Ozzy, bored, suddenly finds the vodka, and he's like, oh yes, yes, fantastic.
I got crazy drunk. I drank about 4 bottles of vodka and God knows how many pills and whatever.
Until he got into such a state, according to Sharon, that he literally went beyond being drunk.
It got to the point where he just lost it totally.
He said, we've decided that you've got to go.
And, you know, started to strangle me and I just lost it.
He was trying to kill her.
I pressed the panic button in the house and the police came and they took him away and he was arrested.
Next morning I woke up and I was in jail.
And he didn't remember a damn thing.
I said, is this some kind of joke?
I mean, he reached his bottom. There was no lower that he could get, and he knew it.
You've been arrested for attempting to murder your wife.
I mean, he'd done it, big time.
She'd told him that the marriage was over.
I was thinking, my God, what's the matter with me? I'm like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was horrendous.
Ozzy spent 3 months in court-enforced rehab away from his family.
I have fallen from grace and my ashes are scattered.
This went beyond some rock star taking drugs and he f***ed up his gig and they had to cancel the show. This was way beyond any of that. And Sharon seriously did contemplate just severing the relationship utterly.
Sharon took him back, but Ozzy's partying was far from over. In March 1991, he was in Las Vegas on a major cocaine binge. He had been up all night and just got sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I just thought, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do this anymore. And I got a big load of cocaine and threw it down the toilet and I said, I'm out of there. I've never touched it since.
In addition to his newfound resolve, Ozzy was put on the mood-equalizing drug Prozac. He now takes his life one day at a time.
I'm not a saint by any means. I'm not going to tell you I'm home and dry, because I ain't, man. I mean, you know, sometimes I fall off, you know. I better get back up again and try again, you know.
Times have changed and times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home.
Hello, my name's Mr. Osbourne. I wondered if it was possible to speak to my wife, Mrs. Sharon Osbourne.
With the stormy days of his binging over, today Ozzy and Sharon look forward to growing old together.
It's like I could never think of my life without him, and I know he feels the same way about me.
I love my wife more than anything in the world. I really can honestly say that there's no other woman on this world that I want to be married to. I love you.
I love you too.
Can we have sex tonight, Mum?
No chance, I'm tired. I've got a headache.
Family man Ozzy still curses like a sailor, no matter how often daughter Kelly tries to keep him in line.
Well, I used to tell him to stop, but now there's no point. But the only time when I make him stop is when my friends come over.
Dad, don't, my friend's coming in, don't curse. Oh, what the f*** am I going to talk about then? My bad.
Instead of snacking on the animals, the endearing Ozzy now plays with them.
Dad, that's sick. Can you give me like impetigo?
Hello.
The rock legend headlines the annual Ozfest, which Sharon produces. The hard rock show was the #2 grossing tour in America last year. And his career has come full circle as he is reunited with the original members of Black Sabbath. They were even collaborating on new music together.
Do you know what? It's like putting on an old pair of shoes. It fits.
From Black Sabbath to success as a solo artist, from notoriety to sobriety. For all of his changes, Ozzy Osbourne is still very much the boy from Birmingham who dreamed of rock and roll glory.
Mama, I'm coming.
I'm still that kid sitting on the step in Lodge Road, fantasizing. I have fantasies still.
Fantasies of greatness, inspired by his heroes, the Beatles.
I'm not content. I'm always trying to find that mountain to climb. I haven't made my Sgt. Pepper album yet.
Until then, Ozzy Osbourne will pour his heart into each and every performance.
Love you all.
Next on VH1, the best of Late World with Zach. The show's only been on for a week, right? Wow, it must be really good if it's already got a best of episode.